walked around the counter with this guy holding his gun right to my head and telling me, "Hurry up! Give me the money! Open the register!" I said with my hands still in the air and shaking, Yes, of course, here." And I opened up the register for him. The other 4 guys descended on this register, getting all the cash in the register. Suddenly the gunman looked at me, then said, "This register too, bitch." There was a second register that had the bare minimum for the first shift to open up with. I put in my code, and I opened that register as well. They cleaned out that one too. They then saw the safe underneath the first register, and again, the gunman pointed his gun to my temple and also demanded I open the safe. I said in a shaky voice that the safe is on a timer. If you press one button, whether it be for the $10 bills or a roll of quarters, it won't dispense again for a whole 2 minutes. The guys were all on the safe pressing buttons, while in the meantime, I'm praying out loud for God to spare me, because I have a husband and children that need me. I kept frantically saying this prayer, and the guys were all frustrated that the safe wasn't giving them what they wanted. I heard one of the guys saying, "One of you shut that bitch up!" And another said, "Just shoot her already! We already have what we need!" Right at that statement, I could literally feel I was about to lose my bladder and pee all over myself. Even though I was scared out of my mind, I was also mad as hell that this was possibly going to be where I ended up. I held in that pee, and I just watched as they started to steal as many cigarettes, wraps, and Black & Milds as they could. One of the guys then yelled, "We've been here too long. Let's go. Let's get the hell out of here." 3 of them were sprinting out the door, while one was in front of me, all while I was shaking with clenched hands praying. I looked up, and then his bandana fell down. I thought this was it for me, but he then just smiled at me, and he joined his friends. At the very same time, a woman came inside to buy a soda. They yelled at her too, pointing the gun at her to give them her purse. The lady replied back with, "I'm not giving you my purse, motherfucker!" And I thought for sure they would get aggressive. Instead, however, they seemed to just be worried about being there too long. They then ran out the door and scattered through the parking lot. I looked at the lady, then the glass door, and I could see her partner's truck sitting outside. I told her to go to her truck while I called the police. I then locked the door as soon as she was in the truck. I picked up the store's landline and I dialed 911. I ran to the stockroom and I locked that door as well. I told the 911 operator of all the details she needed, and after only a couple of minutes, she said it was safe to go to the front door for the officers, and I did just that. I unlocked the door and I immediately removed my name tag and threw it in the trash. I felt like this was finally over and I was obviously quitting. I saw the woman customer that was confronted by the gunman just shaking, and she was rocking back and forth. I put my hand on her shoulder as she also gave her own statement to the police. I gave the officers my statement and I called my manager. She came to the store along with CSI investigators. I had to watch myself on tape at least 3 times with the investigators. At one point, a CSI guy paused the video while the thieves were surrounding the safe and their back was turned. And he asked me, "Ma'am, why didn't you run?" "Because I was afraid I'd be shot in the back," I said. The man apologized immediately, realizing how traumatized I really was. After the police left, I continued to converse with my manager as she tried to console me. She then called her manager because she had never been through anything like this. I actually heard upper management tell her, "Oh, she'll be all right. No need for me to get out of bed for this." I literally lost it, and I told her she was a piece of shit. I eventually went home, and around this time it's 4 a.m. I race upstairs, and I kiss all my children on their foreheads. I then went to mine and my husband's bedroom, and I went into our bathroom to wash my face. I was thinking in my head that I didn't want to wake him up, because he has another hour to sleep before shift for his job begins. I couldn't help but to break down after realizing I was alive and that I was now at home splashing water on my face. My husband woke up to this and he asked in a slight panic, "What's wrong, babe? What's going on?" I broke down to my knees on my bathroom floor and I then explained my entire nightmare night to him. He held me and consoled me. I stayed up until it was time to take my children to school. When I got back home, I called the company's HR. They were very cold towards me. I then decided to call a workers' compensation lawyer. After discussing what happened to me on my third shift all by myself, as well as the HR being so cold towards me, he took my case. I discovered that the 4 guys that robbed me at gunpoint were all 16 years old. I don't know what punishment they ever received, but I do know that I got 1 year of unemployment checks, as well as a settlement of $25,000. I also received therapy for the PTSD that I now have. It took about a year for me to be able to go to a gas station all on my own. It's been about 4 years since, and I'm doing okay now. That is, as long as I have my 2 knives and a taser with me. Hey everyone, I hope you all enjoyed these stories. If you ever want to submit your own, you can do so at southerncannibal.com. Have a good night, everyone. And remember to always stay